What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for yet another Tottenham update. A nice and short one for you guys. We're going to start off with Matt Law's article regarding Ange Postecoglou, and he says Daniel Levy and the club's board have been sympathetic to the challenges Ange Postecoglou has faced and has held off rushing into a decision over his future. He also goes on to say that Ange is giving his shattered players squad 2 days off in terms of trying to recharge those batteries. Says some of the players, so not all of the players. I guess the ones coming back from injury still need to have time on the training pitch and everything like that. But those ones that have been overplayed will be getting 2 days off. But in terms of Daniel Levy being sympathetic to the challenges Ange Postecoglou has faced, very nice for him to be so sympathetic.
Well, he didn't really do what was required in January in terms of getting these signings a lot earlier to kind of embed them into the team in basically the build up to this big week we had in the Cups. And obviously Dancer was only making a second game. Tell was only making his first start in a Spurs show as well. If they were signed earlier in the window, maybe things could have been different. They could have been bedded in a lot earlier. Maybe Richarlison wouldn't have got injured, all these different things. But the club have been very consistent about this injury crisis, about Ange Postecoglou. So logically, I would say, when it comes to them, it wouldn't make sense to then sack him just on the cusp of the injuries coming back, when they've clearly put out the messaging that they understand that the injuries are a big factor as to why we're in the position that we're in. So I understand why they're sticking by him. Looks like they're going to give him probably at least the Europa League run and probably to the end of the season. And they have been consistent on it, but he has needed help. Ange himself has been very consistent that he's needed help with the playing stuff. He even said it after the game. It'd be nice if they had some help. I wonder if that was a shot at the board. But yeah, I think a lot of people wondering whether we're going to wake up to the news that Ange Postecoglou had been sacked, but it looks like he's got another stay of execution. Yeah,
and I mean, it's the most. No one's ever kind of put in the same sentence Levy and being sympathetic to one of his managers, but you're looking at it, right, and it's like Levy has pretty much put Ange in this situation. As much as Ange has had his say in his hand in some of the injuries that we have had, if you skimp out on medical staff, if you skimp out on players, you're never, and you're going to keep throwing managers under the bus consistently time after time. So will anything even change if Ange Postecoglou was to be sacked anyway? I don't think so.
Not this season, not right now, with the situation we're in. I think maybe that's also part of the reason they sticking with him as well. The amount of money it would cost to sack Ange, given what was the contract they gave him? 4 years. So sacking him and his staff, that probably is a big outlay that they would rather not kind of part up with. Obviously, when Conte was sacked, there was a long protracted, wasn't there? Kind of. I remember they had the Southampton run, and then it took a few weeks to sack him because there was the international break, and they were probably coming up with some sort of agreement that they
severance package or something.
Exactly, they wouldn't want to pay the whole thing. So I think they would want to avoid that at all costs, and they want to give Ange, as much the best chance to kind of succeed as possible. They want to give him the time it would take to get these players back. I think that's probably only fair, seeing as though they've stuck by him with it. If they haven't really believed that the injury crisis is where we are, he would have been gone. So they must really believe it. So I think they're going to give him that time, and the show goes on, it looks like.
It'll be interesting to see, though, how sympathetic they keep up with how sympathetic he keeps being if the players start to filter back and the form just doesn't change.
Yeah, it's got to change. 100%. The form has to change. There's no doubt about that.
All right, now to the big news story of the update. Spurs have announced 2 new signings today, people. Beyonce has been signed on 2 extra dates at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and Kendrick Lamar and SZA gigs have been announced at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Brilliant stuff. Unbelievable. Spurs are getting signings through the door. This club is disgraceful, man. This literally the first media briefing, or the first stuff being said in the media since the game last night, since going out 2 trophies in the space of 4 days, and they're announcing new gigs, new top star talent coming to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. God forbid that top star talent would be on the pitch.
Oh, you asked world class talent. Got Kendrick Lamar and Beyonce. Does it get any more world class than that? I don't think so. You going to be there?
No.
You're not going? Kendrick, not a fan of Kendrick Lamar?
No, I'm not going to be there.
Fan of Beyonce?
Even if I was a fan of either of them, I wouldn't be there.
Chance to make some money. Chance to increase the coffers.
Yeah, chance to increase the coffers and give Daniel Levy an even bigger pay rise than he's getting right now.
Well, the dividends aren't big enough, are they?
It's ridiculous. He's only got the biggest in the Premier League.
It's going to be a packed house. It's going to be more money spent at the stadium. It's going to be more money generated for the football club.
For the football club, don't you mean his paycheck?
Well, he says every penny goes back into the club, he says.
Yeah, he says a lot of things, doesn't he? He lies through his teeth. That's what he does. And, yeah, it's just like... Do you not have any, like, self-awareness about you? Can't you just, like, let the loss, like, settle a little bit before you start announcing this
Money's
stuff?
got to be made.
Yeah, money would still be made if you just waited a couple of days, even.
No time like the present.
Well, the morning after going out of the FA Cup.
Well, we're still mourning. Still mourning a cup loss. And they announce it. Look, this is Tottenham Hotspur, no self-awareness. That's the way we do things. This was probably scheduled a long time ago to be on this day, but
scheduled the day after an FA Cup game, when you know you're in the midst of this injury crisis and you know more than likely you're going to go out.
They don't think about these things.
No, they don't, because they don't think about football. What they think about is generating revenue, and maybe if we do well on football as well, it'll be a nice side piece, nice side hustle for the club, but it's never been, and it's not at the forefront of this football club.
Why bother spending the money to get back to big Champions League finals, European finals, when you can put on the biggest events yourselves? Get Kendrick Lamar in there, get Beyonce in there.
Yeah, I'm seeing the smile beaming from your face with this. You seem delighted.
Can't wait. A lot of big fans of Kendrick Lamar.
You going?
Don't think so.
Why not?
I don't think I'll spend the money.
Yeah, good on you.
Too much for me.
Ridiculous. Well, anyway, change for Spurs protests on Sunday. Man United game. Be there or be square, people.
Why don't you protest the concerts?
That's what it definitely should do. Definitely should do. Change for Spurs. Have a look into that, because I think there should be some protests going on at Kendrick Lamar and Beyonce. Get Beyonce involved in the protests. Why not?
Turn up with our Europa League trophy.
Our Europa League trophy.